Thank you very much, Nandita Krishnan, for accepting my invite for this interview on change management. This, I think, is especially important in the current times. And I'm sure the insights will help listeners a lot. So before we get on to the topic, it's my pleasure to introduce Mrs. Nandita Krishnan, a seasoned facilitator, mentor, and a coach in the leadership space for 17 years. Conceptualized, designed, and delivered several leadership programs, which include blended learning, e-learning, simulations, and experiential learning. With a passion for behavioral work, coached and mentored several managers and future leaders. She keeps their psychological safety as a foremost attribute, and as a result of that, people feel comfortable sharing even deepest and challenging aspects which could be hindering their progress. Extensive use of psychometrics, emotional intelligence, and transactional analysis as a way to break the impasse. So this is about Nandita Krishnan, and I'm Ram Ramakrishnan, business direction coach and enabling business owners and to be profitable and scalable. We do this through my organization, GenSource India Private Limited, which has got about 350 plus man years of experience, people working with us in the areas of process excellence, people development, technology implementation, innovation, knowledge management, business finance, administration, and facilities. For more details, you can write to info@gensource.in. Now, getting into our today's interview topic, change management. As we said, this is the most hottest topic of the day today. Everyone is looking forward to. In this context, I would like to ask Ms. Nandita Krishnan on change, why this change management is important.
Thank you, Ram, for bringing me in on this call. What can I say and where can I start, right? Change management today, a lot more important than all of the decades that have happened so far. We are surrounded by change all the time. There's a beautiful quote by this a futurist called Alvin Toffler. And Alvin Toffler went on to saying that the people who survive in the world are the ones who can learn, unlearn, and relearn.
Yes.
Right? And it's always that there is a change element to everything. Just when I'm saying that, you know, things are looking good, everything is going great, economy is doing well, boom, something comes up and there is a change, right? And then we are all grappling with how I adapt to the change and what needs to happen, all of it. So change management is managing the change that is up in our faces at any point of time, and to figure out how do I accept and embrace that change and not get intimidated by it. And that's where this whole space of change management lies. And I think today organizations and people have a bigger responsibility to bring this change management into practice. And I'm happy to do this call and this interview with you today, Ram.
Thank you. And next one we want to know is how this change management will help organization. What is that they need to do?
So change management helps organizations in two levels, right? It helps at the level of the organization. It helps at the level of the individuals. Mm-hmm. There are no organizations without people. Employees are the DNA of organizations. So change management needs to happen at both levels, and it benefits at both levels as well. Right? At the organization level, what happens is it helps us manage the cost of change. And whenever we are implementing a change and there is a time factor, it helps us keep that time factor in place when we are implementing the change. And how do I talk it out with my employees? What are strategies that I will put in place? What are the benefits to the employees and the organizations that is clearly visible or stated? What are things which are unstated, which can come to the forefront? all of these can go into benefits of change. While we talk about benefits of change, I think it's also important to address what are the challenges this change proposes, and how do we take that across. And benefits of change at the individual level is what's going to happen to me, and how do I reduce my anxiety, my stress when I'm adapting to the change. How can I stay and keep motivated when there is change, because efficiency, productivity, all of that needs to go. It's like changing the tires on a moving car, right? You have no time to sit down and change a flat tire. So you're changing the tire as the vehicle is running, which is the organization. So the organization runs parallelly, the change is running parallelly. How do I clearly communicate the benefits of the change so that this change management becomes a lot more easier for people to accept? And of course, the change management is needed because it helps the employees understand, accept, commit, and embrace the change that is coming, and not feeling that they're victimized into this change and they're forced to go along with this change. And I see the benefits of the change needs to be hugely articulated by the organization and needs to be very clearly understood by the employees as well.
So in normal situations, we plan all this change. In current situation, it is totally already changes happen, right? Changes have happened at various levels, and then it becomes more important. Do you have any thoughts on that in the current, given a current situation? What people need to start looking at it, start immediately, or what is that they should start looking at?
What is beautiful is when COVID came across as one of the biggest changes, right? People started to believe that working from home is the norm. As people started to believe that I can manage virtual teams and motivate them beautifully. I'm sure there was resistance in our own heads about using Zoom and technology. And the very fact that we are doing this call on a Zoom video call today is saying a lot. And I work in the space of leadership development, which is a lot of face-to-face interactions. And it is all about, and it's such a big, emotional change that people are going through. So a change can happen at 3 levels, right? It can happen at the level of a physical change where you're thrown from one location into another location. It can happen at a cognitive level, which is a knowledge level. What skills do I need to pick up to run a Zoom call beautifully today? How do I run virtual meetings? So what is the knowledge that I'm picking up? And the third one, I think, is the emotional change, which is the most difficult to handle, because people are saying, what do I do? I'm sitting at home the whole day. How do I attest for people's productivity? How do I know and trust them to do whatever is happening? So there is a lot of dynamics that's going on, and no one anticipated that this is going to come. I know organizations which say that I will allow only 10% of my people to work from home. And this is not a norm at all for my organization and the culture that I operate out of. And today, the same organization is doing 90% work from home, right? And there are so many things that can come into place which is making this change happen. So there's a mental shift that needs to happen in people's head. There needs to be an acceptance saying that I'm going to be going ahead and doing this. The organization needs to put immense amount of trust into the employees, saying that we are going to trust them and ensure that things get done, right? So there's so many things, and this can happen only when the individual marries with the organizational change drive that is happening, and everyone has to be sold on the idea. Everyone has to be brought into this whole thing. And of course, there are many models, and the most common and the most popular one is the ADKAR model. ADKAR, where A is all about awareness, right? I'm so aware that this COVID has happened. I cannot go into work. I need to keep the things running, the business going. I still need to manage whatever needs to happen. And my own buy-in and my desire, which is the D part of ADKAR, my desire to support the change. okay, I'm not going to sulk. I'm not going to be sitting in a corner saying that, no, I'm going to quit because I cannot work remotely, versus saying that, yeah, I desire to support this change and I'm willing to give it a try. I'm willing to see how it works. And a knowledge of all the things that will help me work with this change in place, and is my ability to demonstrate my skills, my behaviors, all of that is needed in this change context. And of course, the R is the reinforcement for me to say, yes, this has worked or this has not worked. Yes. Zoom is something that may or may not work. Let me look at another platform which is a lot more effective. Let me look at a Cisco telepresence where people feel that they're sitting in front of one another, right? So there's so many technology options in the year 2020 that embracing change becomes that much more easier on everyone. And of course, we have no choice, right? And at the end of the day, we are saying, yeah, we have been thrown into the deep end of the pool. How am I going to learn to swim? And how am I going to survive and swim out of this effectively? And everyone, right from the policemen in our country to the medical staff, to every employee in an organization, have re-looked at the way professionalism and work ethics work, right?
So that's good. I think I wanted to ask that only. What is the steps you recommend? You already have given that as part of ATKAR. And that is the one I think we are also covering as part of the change management program, I think, right?
Yeah,
so we are doing it on 19th
there are many more models. Yeah, there are many models, and there are models to help people handle stress. Because there's no way you can say that I'm not going to feel stressed about this change that's coming, right? It's just about my own acceptance and how do I emotionally embrace and accept it. And in the COVID times, I'm doing so many coaching sessions with people who are just struggling to keep up with this change. And I think this is a beautiful platform for people to address how do we take it up with our teams to help. There might be people embracing change at different levels of intensity. Some might be open to it. Some of them will be struggling to work with it. Some of us have lost jobs. Some of us are looking for new positions. So change appears itself in different avatars all through.
Okay, that's great. And another thing is, what I was looking at is, change, when we do all this change management, at the end of it, we look at the change, how effectively which got implemented. Is there any kind of a tool to evaluate that whether these changes and implementation of this change has given a desired result and it is working well?
Yeah, I was a part of a change management initiative for a big multinational in India, which was looking at performance management as a change initiative. So they said that in our performance management system, we have appraisals which happen once a year, feedback to the employees given only once a year. So the organization somewhere said that this is not a working model. Let's bring a change initiative into place where everyone gives feedback to another person at regular intervals of time and whenever there is a need, and not wait till the end of the year to make this happen, right? And then we went ahead to study what made this change initiative a success. So we can look at adoption in terms of the percentage of people who openly accepted, saying that yes, feedback is important and I will do it and give it at the needed time. How well have I utilized the different tools to be able to give the feedback, which is the utilization? How quickly did I turn over from a once a year model to a lot more frequent model? What are some of the perceptions that are running in people, right? So we did perception surveys. Of course, there was a lot of training. There was a lot of workshops that were put in place for people to figure out how do I build the skill of giving feedback. User competency. I'm a person who's equipped to give feedback and I know the right kind of language to do that. Some of us are struggling with it, and how do I build that competency into the users? And of course, we checked for behaviors. We did a lot of surveys. We, of course, did a performance management survey at the very end and spoke to everyone in the organization through a survey link, saying that, tell us, is it working? Is it not working? So there are many ways which have the checks and balances put in place all the time to figure out whether this is a success or not.
Yeah, it's a time for all of us to look at and how we quickly adapt to the change and embrace the change and move forward in growing out individually as well as an organization. It's very important. I think we got an excellent inputs from you on this session interview as of now. I'm sure it is all very useful. I've definitely felt very useful inputs. I got it, and I'm sure everyone will feel there's an input. They got it. Thank you very much, Nandita, for this short interview and sharing your thoughts on this change management. And I'm sure at some point in time we will have a good, larger session and for larger audience and take it forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Ram. And the new normal is the new change initiative in all of our lives. So let's all walk towards the new normal and figure out what to do. Thank you, Ram, for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Take care.